and so we can only await the report from Keith Vaz. And that's all the news from Westminster. And now for this week's Science with Matt Parker's Millie Week. So why do we call this segment Matt Parker's Millie Week, Matt?
Because I'm Matt Parker.
No, I meant Millie Week.
It's because it's the week of science in less than a milliweek, which is just over 10 minutes. Actually, so I guess it's more half a milliweek, or a microdecade, which is about 5 minutes and 16 seconds. This week in Science News, we have sex, squids, and rocky planets. Starting off with the discovery of the first planet to orbit a binary set of stars. That's one planet going around both of two stars. We've never seen this type of planet before, and it's been observed for the very first time. Let's have a look how the papers summarise this.
Astronomers hail extraordinary discovery of Star Wars planet with two suns, Daily Mail. An oddity made famous by the planet Tatooine in Star Wars, The Guardian. Astronomers discover planet straight out of Star Wars, The Independent.
Really? That's the best we could do? It's a bit like that one scene in Star Wars? This is ridiculous. But it's okay. I went and checked what the scientist himself had to say about this discovery.
The minute we knew it was a circumbinary planet, I emailed a colleague and said, "We should ask George Lucas if we can nickname it Tatooine."
Even the scientists are linking it to Star Wars. I mean, I found the actual paper in Science, and it starts with this line.
A planet with two suns is a familiar concept from science fiction.
Now this makes more sense when you realise that this week was the release of the Star Wars Blu-ray box set. Now, I admit it is just one data point, and yes, it could just be correlation. I'm not one to jump to causality, but it is a bit suspicious that we've discovered two stars orbited by a planet, orbited by a marketing campaign. I've read the paper itself. The science is amazing. There's no reason to tart it up in a gold bikini. I mean, this was discovered using NASA's new Space Kepler telescope. It's absolutely incredible. This telescope monitors over 155,000 stars simultaneously, as well as the gap in NASA's budget. It's also the first time we've ever seen this type of planet. It's something completely new. And how do we represent this in the media? Like this. Images of Luke Skywalker on his home planet of Taunton, somewhere. Anyway, the point is, we're underselling the science. If you're actually on this planet, which scientists have named Kepler-16b, the view is far more exciting. There's not just two boring stars that look like our sun. The stars are actually different colours, and they're different sizes. And as they rotate around each other in an elliptical pattern every 41 days, it looks like they're changing size and position in the sky. And actually, for any fans of the three-body problem, even though the stars are moving in a very dynamical elliptical pattern, this planet itself orbits in an almost circular pattern. It's even more circular than the Earth. It's absolutely incredible. Anyway, as all this is happening, you will see a different sunset every single day. It would be an incredible sight. It really is. Reality is much, much cooler than science fiction. And literally cooler. And I'm using literal in a literal sense. The stars are cooler than the sun. And so even though the planet is much closer than Earth is to the sun, it's still much, much colder on the planet. In fact, the surface of Kepler-16b never gets above freezing. So this scene would look a lot more like this. Also, it's not a rocky planet like the Earth. Half the mass of Kepler-16b is a rocky core, but the other half, unfortunately, is a Saturn-like atmosphere which would kill Luke pretty much instantly, showing that Kepler-16b can achieve what the Death Star could only dream of. So as you can see here, Star Wars is a much more boring version than what actually exists in reality. But then again, given it was written by George Lucas, what else do we expect? And finally, scientists have discovered how deep-sea squid have sex. It seems that over 400 meters below the surface, where the squid like to pool, it's very difficult to tell male from female. Now, the male squid could evolve a way to distinguish which of the ladies in this low-light environment, but they don't, no. They just have sex with everything that moves and hope for the best. This leads me nicely to the wonderful title for this particular bit of research.
A shot in the dark. Same-sex sexual behaviour in a deep-sea squid.
Now, when these squid have sex, they don't actually penetrate the females. The males just attach a small sac of sperm to the outside of the female. When the scientists looked at all the squid, they found that there were equal numbers of sperm sacs on the males as the females. Now, this amazing bit of research, which has shown that in this family of cephalopods there's equal amounts of homo and heterosexual behaviour, probably won't ever see the light of day. Which is a shame. It's incredible science, but it simply hasn't got a nice movie-themed hook to get the press interested. Although, frankly, I think I've got something they could use. Back to you, David. Told you invertebrate jokes were hilarious.
Thanks, Matt. But couldn't the females evolve a way to be more distinguished?
Yes, I mean, the females could show that they are ladies, but it seems that in evolutionary terms, it's much more effective for them to simply sit back and watch the men fumble around in the dark, effectively getting a taste of their own sperm sac.
Matt Parker there with gay squids in space. And now for celebrity news. Keith Vaz was found romping